Steve Punch Out TV. How are you all doing on this Wednesday evening? Well, it's that time of month. Back with another one for you. For the crimes committed in boxing from the month of February through to the end of March. So this is just a laugh. Don't take it personal, because some people, it hurts their feelings. But we put the wrongs right and pull the people up for the crimes, like I say, what they've committed in boxing. So back with another episode for you, CRIMEWATCH UK, for the crimes committed in boxing. So let's get into it. In at number 4, it's none other than the two-faced man himself, Derek 2% Battery. Now, Derek Flat Battery Chisora is in at number 4 because when it was announced that Joseph Parker would be fighting Martin Bakole 2 days before the fight, or a day before the fight, Derek said that he picked Bakole to beat Parker. Anyway, Parker smashes Bakole. Derek then comes out, does an interview on Seconds Out, saying that Joseph Parker... Oh, that was it, sorry. First, before he does the interview, he goes backstage and congratulates Joseph Parker on his win over Martin Bakole. Then 2% Battery is out slagging Joseph Parker off, throwing him under the bus, saying that he doesn't deserve any credit for that win because Bakole only had 2 days' notice. Yet, a few minutes before, he was in the back room of Parker's changing room, shaking his hands and saying, well done and all that. So, Two-Faced Derek, aka Flat Battery, Derek's in for being an absolute tosser, and throwing Joseph Parker under the bus, and also coming out with lies of his last fight was the last dance. Now he's trying to make a fight with either Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk. So, Flat Stanley, the man who can't sling 2 words together, Derek Flat Battery Chisora, aka the sloth off the Goonies, he's in at number 4 for being an absolute two-faced twat. So Derek, get on the podium, kid. Right, let's have a look who else we've got. Ha! It's that man again, the man who just can't get off the board. In at number 3, it's none other than the most aggressive boxing promoter out there. The puppet master, the man who wants to control his fighters. None other than Bricktop, aka Fish Eyes, Frank Warren. Fish Eyes is in at number 3 this month, it's CRIMEWATCH, for being the biggest crybaby out there and being so aggressive when Danny Flexen dropped it on him in that interview on, I think it was Seconds Out or Box Nation, can't remember, one of the two. But when Danny Flexen stuck it to Bricktop, Bricktop said, and I quote, these are your words, Bricktop, he said, I don't give a fuck about what trolls think, because all they'll be doing is sitting in their mum's basement in the string vest eating pop noodles. But really what he meant is he doesn't care what the boxing fans say for his fighter and him conjuring up this plan, this bullshit illness and this plan, and then completely swerving Joseph Parker and then making out that he's going to give Parker the shot after, which we all know is bullshit. And he's been crying, absolutely crying like a big girl. And anyone who challenges him, going off his head and getting mega aggressive. And I can only say the reason why he's getting mega aggressive is because the truth hurts. People see what you're doing, Fish Eyes. You're a con man, and we all know it. You only have to look at the shenanigans what you pulled off with the Tyson Fury bullshit. You're now doing the same thing. You keep changing your mind and changing all these stuff about this doctor, yet no one's named this doctor, the medicine what he was on, no one's named it, the illness. Where is your fighter, Frank Warren? Where is he? Because you know it, and I know it, he ducked Joseph Parker. And like I said, he's going in for a fight with Alexander Usyk for undisputed. So fucking Fish Eyes, the little crybaby, the little wet wipe, he's in at number 3 for being the most biggest crybaby and aggressive boxing promoter out there. So Frank Warren, go and sit your arse down. Right, in at number 2 for the first time he's been on the board. I've lost all respect for this guy. I did think he was a good guy. He's a good trainer. He's not the best out there, what people are saying that he is. He's just had a good run. But in at number 2 is none other than another crybaby, Con Charles, or should I say, Don Charles. Don Charles is in at number 2 for being all over social media like a whore, like a social media whore, crying and changing his story about Daniel Dubois. Now, Con Charles come out on an interview last week, or it might have been the week before, and he said that when Daniel DeBums was under Shane McGuigan, this illness occurred just before the Trevor Bryan fight, sorry. Trevor Francis is a bloody footballer. And then it happened again before the Anthony Joshua fight. And I think he said it happened before the Usyk fight, but these were a couple of weeks before the fights. And then it happened again in the Joseph Parker fight, but a couple of days before the fight. So Con Charles then said that we're looking to fight Usyk anyway because we've got unfinished business. This is what he said. He went off his head at Andy Lee because Andy Lee has raised suspicion over what's happened to his fighter, and was he ill, and where is he? Was it all a plan? So Don Charles has been getting mega aggressive again and wetting his panties because Andy Lee and Team Parker are suspicious, which they have a right to be suspicious. Your man was due to fight Parker, pulls out with an illness. Now, my question to you, Con Charles, is if this so-called illness, what you can't name, has happened 3 times to your fighter and once before you took the fighter over from Shane McGuigan, why have you not got in touch with a doctor and done tests on this guy and found out and got to the bottom of what this illness is? All you've said is that you had 2 independent doctors, one independent doctor and one British Boxing Board of Control doctor, and all you know is it's swollen glands. So, and you said it's like a flu. It lasts for 4 days. It gets worse before it gets better. So, why have you not rescheduled this fight? Why have you not got to the bottom of what this illness is? Why have you not told the public what this illness is? And why have you not explained where your fighter is? I'll tell you why. Because it was all a plan. You thought that you were going to drop it on Parker, but when I seen the face-off and I seen how mega confident Parker was, I think you lot bottled it because you wanted undisputed. because Josie Parker was a potential banana skin for your man. And now, when people are saying that it's a duck, you're getting mega aggressive, wetting your pants and crying like a fucking big mardarse. So Don Charles, or should I say Con Charles, you're in at number 2 for not coming up with any proper explanation of what this illness is and where your fighter is, and being a big fucking twat and an absolute crybaby. And I've lost all respect for you, Con Charles. So Con Charles, the big crybaby, is in at number 2. Let's have another look. Which turnip has won twat of the month? Or should I say, which fighter has won turnip of the month? Well. He's back in pole position. It can be nobody else, only this guy. In at number 1, it's none other than the hide-and-seek champion himself. Triple D. Daniel Dunce Dubois, or should I say, Triple Duck. Now, Daniel Dunce Dubums is in pole position for turnip of the month for scheduling a fight with a fighter, jumping in the ring before his fight was due with Josie Parker, shoving a microphone up Alexander Usyk's nostrils when he was having his gloves taken off and saying that he wants revenge. Then he's scheduled to fight. He pulls out with this so-called illness, what nobody knows what it is. And that's another thing. This doctor's never been named. Nobody's named him. Or these doctors. Then you pull out of the fight because you know, and I know, when you sat down with that face off and Frank had his fist up your arse and he was controlling you, telling you what to say, the puppet master, you then decided with your team to duck Josie Parker. They thought that they could put Piccoli in and that would get rid of Parker. But Parker dusted Piccoli aside like absolutely nothing. Swiped him aside. Just brushed him aside like he was brushing his hair. Your arse fell out. You shit your pants. Made up this so-called illness. And now you've gone missing. Now, I like Daniel, and I do. But I've got to call it for how I see it. And I'm going to continue to call this guy a ducker. This guy pulled off the biggest robbery in boxing. One of the biggest robberies out there. Possibly bigger than the Hatton Garden robbery. A blatant duck. This guy is guilty of ducking. Now, I don't care if people say he wasn't mandatory. That's right, he wasn't. He was a voluntary fight. But you filled your pants and gone hiding under a rock because Parker has now dusted away the so-called bogeyman. And now you're looking to fight Alexander Usyk instead of doing the honourable thing and rescheduling the fight with Josie Parker. So the Bums is a ducker and a robber because he robbed Josie Parker of a title shot, and now he's also teamed up with BJF, Big Bad John Fury, Big John Fury. He's teamed up with BJF, and they've gone missing. He's not been seen since the 20th of February. It's 26 days ago. 26 days ago he was last seen. Nobody knows where he is. There's no statement. There's no explanation of what was up with him. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just pure radio silence. So Daniel the Bums is the twat of the month. The turnip of the month. For being an absolute wet wipe. Filling his pants. Shit scared of Josie Parker. being told what to do off the puppet master, can't think for himself. So the dunce, Daniel the Dunce the Bums, is in at number 1 for the biggest robbery in boxing in modern day history, and still on the run and still not being seen. So that concludes this month's episode of Crime Watch UK for the crimes in boxing, for ducking. Now I know Derek hasn't ducked, but he had to go on there because, like I say, for being two-faced and lying about this so-called last dance fight. So that's the board. All 4 twats of the month. I'll be back with another one at the end of next month. But they're the 4 tossers of the month. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out, and I'll catch you very soon.
This is sabotage. This is just a system against me. Fuck off. It's an absolute... You know what? It makes me sick that someone would go to those lengths